Should call the meeting been properly posted and the roll been taken?
It has.
Thank you. We'll start then with item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3 is approval of the minutes from October 18th and the special meeting on November 1st. There's no additions or corrections. I entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 4 is communication. Communications this evening. Item number 5 then is public comments. Citizens who wish to address the chair at this point of the meeting, just please limit your comments to items that are on this evening's agenda and for once for no more than 3 minutes. Now we'll move on to item number 6, which are reports of committees, boards, commissions, and the Delavan Area School District. 6.1 Finance Committee and the Financial Report. Alderwoman Brand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Finance Committee met on November 1st at 5 o'clock. Our next meeting will be on December 13th at 5. There are a number of items on tonight's agenda. The minutes of the meeting are on file with the city clerk for public inspection. And at this time, I would make a motion to approve the financial report.
Let's second that.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 2 is general operations. Alderman Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. General operations met Tuesday, November 1st. Ground service set up a display for the committee to view. This display that consisted of light vehicles, ATVs and UTVs. And we are looking at ordinance changes for those. Myers asked for another extension on their plans. There's been several permits for new homes. And the next GOC meeting will be December 6th at 5:30.
Thank you, Alderman Wilson. Item 6.3 is the Planning Commission. Alderman Beazer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Planning Commission's meeting was canceled due to lack of agenda items. The next Planning Commission meeting is tentatively scheduled for December 5th, 2022 at 5 p.m.
Thank you, Alderman Beazer. Item 6.4 is Public Works. Alderwoman Brand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Public Works has not met since the previous meeting, so our next meeting will be on November 29th at 5:30.
Thank you, Alderwoman Brand. Item 6.5 is the Town of the Delavan Lake Committee. Alderman Beazer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was not able to attend the last meeting, so I have nothing to report.
Thank you, Alderman Beazer. Item 6.6 is the Library Board of Trustees. Alderwoman Brand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was also not available to attend the meeting. I was at some parent-teacher conferences. But our next meeting is November 17th at 5:30.
Thank you, Alderwoman Brand. Item 6.7 is Parks and Recreation Commission. Alderman Prasad.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was not able to attend that one due to a bad name, which I've got some cortisone, so I'll be good to go for about 5 months. But the next one is gonna be the 21st at 5:30 of this month.
Thank you, Alderman Prasad. Item 6.8 is Communications Commission. Alderman Luis Solis. He would give that update. He's not able to be here with us this evening. I don't know if anyone else has an update. Otherwise, we'll wait until next month. 6.9 is Delavan Downtown Project Management Team. Alderwoman Brand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We met on November 9th at 6 p.m. We talked about the wine walk, as well as plans for the downtown Christmas events. And our next meeting will be on January 24th at 7 p.m.
Thank you, Alderman Brand. Item 6.10 is the Delavan Golf Commission. Alderman Purcell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Golf's over with. We kind of was hoping that we maybe stay 2 weeks after they closed, but with employees and that, we kind of shut it down on Halloween. And of course, there were 2 good weeks of weather, but you don't know what to do. But that's done. But they're gonna be doing some, if we get a lot of frost in the ground right now, so we can get on the fields, that we'll probably do some tree trimming. But that's pretty much about it until April.
Okay, thank you, Alderman Purcell. Item 6.11 is the Tourism Commission. Again, Alderman Solis would normally give that. Ryan, did you want to give a little?
Yes, the Tourism Commission met last night, November 14th, 2022 at 5 p.m. The main item for business was to approve the budget for 2023 with room tax. That was approved and will be in its final form next week when we have our budget hearing. For the entire budget of the city. 2 other items of note that were approved on there was one, they approved a proposal through Signal Fire, basically contracting with a sign company to produce and install 4 billboards 4 different signs on the billboards that we own on I-43 next year. Both billboards north and southbound. They're going to try to do something kind of seasonal in each case. They would like to get one up the next 30 days, so I'll probably be bringing that to you next week to add to the agenda to approve this proposal because it's going to come out of their capital funds. And my understanding is that it needs to go through council also. They also have tentatively approved a design for some banners to be put up. Those will also be more or less a quarterly type or seasonal type banners to go up. I think they want to finalize some numbers with Public Works to make sure how many will actually be able to put those up, especially with the winter season coming up and some of the posts having downtown having Christmas decorations, so they won't know exactly how many they need to get for now. They'd also like to get those up in the next 30 days, just so we can start this whole process. So we'll see. They're pretty ambitious.
Thank you,
And the
Brian.
next meeting will be January 9th, 2023 at 5 p.m.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Item 6.12 is the Delavan Darien School District update. Dr. Jill Sorman.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start off by thanking the community. Obviously, the referendum passed last Tuesday. We're thankful for the community support. While it was a close call and a close win, we will count it as a W in the column of win right now. I did share with the board last night at our meeting that the R word will not be coming out of my mouth for a long time because we recognize there is some fatigue by our taxpayers, but we do appreciate the support that they have shown for the school district. So on other news, again, thank you for the community and for those of you that in the audience have voted yes for the schools. On other notes, some other things that are happening for us, we are kicking off, starting in January, a big marketing pitch for the district. So we're working on that, everything from looking at TV ads or ads to be on streaming, things like that. So outside the box type marketing approaches. And in addition to that, we are really working heavily on our school improvement plan. Right now, as we've gotten our students back fully, and with COVID being something to look at in the rear view mirror, we're really working on our 5-pronged school improvement plan. So every year, the teachers and administrators develop a plan around these 5 different pieces around reading, math, behavior or PBIS, attendance, and family engagement. And so specifically, family engagement, so going in reverse order again, they each have some kind of future activity coming up that they are involving the community into the school. Darien, I know, has the first one coming up in December, where they're doing a movie night with families and hot dogs and popcorn night type approach for families. Then it was around attendance. Our attendance is much better than what we've ever seen the last few years. So in addition to that, one of the new things that we'll be doing starting December 1st, every family for every child will be getting an email on the 1st of every month stating how close are they to helping us, the district, reach our goal of 95% of attendance. So basically that allows students to miss 10 days for a school year total. That's a state statute, and that's our goal as a district. And so we are going to be sending out that letter every month to say how each child in each home is helping us meet that goal. So that's one of the pieces we're doing. There's others, but I'm just highlighting a few pieces. The next one was about behaviors. The school district on a whole has seen our behavior trends be much better. Specifically, a lot of the buildings are working on defiance and disrespect and thinking about what that means and how do they work with the youth on that. And so our teachers are really thinking about that, our administrators are really thinking about that. Specifically at Phoenix, we've seen our numbers decline rapidly, and we're quite pleased with our new associate principal there that's doing some heavy lifting with kids and understanding what that word respect means. And then going into the math and reading goals, each of the buildings have their own caveat that they're looking at. We've done a lot of work to really dissect what the state assessment means for the 3rd through 8th graders and what each one of those test questions are asking for what standard, but also at what depth of knowledge. I'm getting a little bit into the teaching piece here for you, but that means at what kind of level of questioning the teachers are asking. And so those are helping us filter to the teachers to have them better use their materials to teach to that level of rigor that is expected by the state. So those are the kind of work that we're doing around those 5 prongs of teaching and learning and our school improvement plan that we develop every year. In addition to that, obviously basketball season has started along with wrestling and boys swim, and we have a tremendous amount of participation. We have a lot of new clubs that have started at both Phoenix and at the high school. So we have a new welding and manufacturing club that started. We have a new autos club that Tommy will appreciate that started at the high school as well. We have at the Phoenix Middle School, we have a 5th and 6th grade leadership student council that started. So just kind of some different clubs for kids to be involved in. Our participation overall has gone dramatically up as far as kids being involved in post-curricular things, which is exactly what we wanted. We want our kids to get involved. And on a final note, we are really pushing hard on our gifted and talented program. Our gifted and talented coordinator, Irina Erdl, a local here in our community, has really been instrumental at really delivering a good 3rd grade through 8th grade program for our little ones or our middle schoolers and Darien Elementary to really try to help those students that are at that cusp of being even more amazing in their thinking. So that's all happening at the same time that all of these other things like passing the referendum has been happening. So any questions? Yes, John.
The movie thing, what's that all about?
So basically it's inviting the students and their families to come in and watch a movie. I don't remember. It's one of those Christmas movies that they're watching, and they'll watch it in the gymnasium.
Yeah.
And pop popcorn, have hot dogs, and then they're also gonna offer some kind of other kind of learning engagement piece for the families that night too.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do Grace.
No.
Better shape up.
That's good. Okay, any other questions?
I had one, was there an update on, just further discussions regarding the dog park?
Absolutely. So I did speak to the attorney last week, and just like I had suspected, I spoke to her on 3 different issues. One of them was the dog park. It does have to happen at the annual meeting, like I had thought. The board will be discussing it in closed session because the attorney said that we should be the one generating what the district wants for the length, for the language in a contract. They need to, the school board needs to frame that as to what they want out of that dog park. Instead of just saying, Dr. Subby, go start having that conversation with the city. Instead, the attorney is saying, no, you should be generating that if you want, X, Y, or Z out of it. If you want X, Y, or Z for years, it should be the school board that has the first initial, this is what they are going to be thinking the parameters around the fence, so to say. No pun intended there would be. Okay,
Thank you. Guess that's it then.
I'm on my way to
Unless there's any other
Texas.
questions. All right. Well, then we'll move on to item number 7, issues that came before the finance committee. 7.1 is consider development review, development agreement with Falcon Ridge Apartments LLC for the residential apartment complex on Fairfield Avenue.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the developmental agreement between the city of Delavan and Falcon Ridge Apartments LLC.
If you could make that, we just received some revisions late Friday, so if you could make that subject to the approval of the city.
Subject to the approval of the revisions
Yes, of the city attorney,
of
by
the
the
city,
city. Thank you.
by the city attorney.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 7.2 is considered the purchase of 6 Zoll AED devices at a cost of $105,710.48.
This came before the finance committee, and the original proposal was to approve purchase of one refurbished device that would be covered by a grant. And when asked to inquire about the option to buy a new device with a warranty, additional bids were brought back to the finance committee, and we felt like this particular bid was the best long-term solution for the city and for the fire department and EMT. So I would make a motion to approve the purchase of 6 Zoll AED devices and additional components as listed in the quote version 2 at a cost of $105,710.48 with a payment due as presented in the quote, 35% due 30 days, 25% due January 31st, 2024, and the balance due January 31st, 2025.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Is this covered by the grant?
Up to, it was, I think, 28,000,
27.
27.
Thank you.
The cost efficiency was huge.
Yeah, I can see that.
It seems like a better path.
Mhm.
Good.
All right. If there's no other questions, maybe we have a roll call.
Alderman Purcell,
Yes.
Alderwoman Deschner Brandt,
Yes,
Alderman Beatty,
Yes.
Alderman Wilson,
Yes.
Alderman Beazer,
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 7.3 is consider award of engineering, design, and construction inspection for the South Terrace Street and West Wisconsin Street water services replacement to Baxter and Woodman for an amount not to exceed $28,900 and amendment to the 2022 engineering, design, and construction inspection to extend the water main replacement on South 4th Street from Matthew Street to Washington Street for an amount not to exceed $50,900.
I would make a motion to approve the proposed MOU agreements with Baxter and Woodman for both South Terrace Street and West Wisconsin Street water services replacement for an amount not to exceed $28,900 and an amendment to the 2022 engineering, design, and construction inspection to extend the water main replacement on South 4th Street from Matthew Street to Washington Street for an amount not to exceed $50,900.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, then we have a roll call.
Alderwoman Deschner Brandt,
Yes,
Alderman Beatty,
Yes.
Alderman Wilson,
Yes.
Alderman Beazer,
Yes.
Alderman Purcell,
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 7.4 is consider an MOU agreement with Baxter and Woodman for engineering, design, and construction inspection services in conjunction with the proposed 2023 street improvements for an amount not to exceed $38,500 for engineering design work and an amount not to exceed $22,000 for construction engineering.
I'd make a motion to approve the proposed MOU agreement with Oxford Women for the 2023 Street Improvements Program at an amount not to exceed $38,500 for engineering design work and an amount not to exceed $22,000 for construction engineering.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Bateman,
Yes.
Alderman Wilson,
Yes.
Alderman Beazer,
Yes.
Alderman Purcell,
Yes.
Alderwoman Deschner Brandt.
Yes,
Motion passes. Item 7.5 is consider an updated contract for assessment and interim market update services with Associated Appraisal Consultants.
I would make a motion to approve the contract for assessment services for 2023 to 2027, and along with the interim market update for a yearly cost of $31,000 plus fees or personal property accounts and website posting.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I second it.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Wilson,
Yes.
Alderman Beazer,
Yes.
Alderman Purcell,
Yes.
Alderwoman Deschner Brandt,
Yes,
Alderman Bateman,
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 7.6 are approval of the bills warrant 2022-10.
I would make a motion to approve warrant 2022-10.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 8 are issues that came before the General Operations Committee. 8.1 is consider approval of a Class B fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for RST Mexican Bar and Restaurant at 212 South 7th Street. There's, I'm gonna not get this right. Callahan is the agent.
I move to approve the Class B fermented malt beverages and intoxicating liquor license for 212 South 7th Street with the insurance of the license contingent upon the closing of the sale of the property and the current owner relinquishing his liquor license.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I got one question. This RST, is this the same people that are putting the liquor store next to Ace Hardware?
No.
Really?
No, they'd be on Geneva Street.
So 212 7th Street, that's Hernandez. Okay, I think they're the people that own the liquor store next to Ace Hardware.
Oh, they may, yeah, that may be the same. Yeah, I'm sorry, that may be the same.
that the
one.
same
Yeah,
people?
I don't know, would staff know?
Oh, okay, just wanna make sure I know.
I believe it is, yes.
I think it is, yeah, okay. That's all I have.
There's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 9, other business, 9.1 is consider a resolution declaring the old satellite boxes at Delbrook Golf Course surplus property.
So move.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I second it.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Satellite boxes as in for people?
They're the things for the irrigation system. They're old worn out electronic controls that don't work.
Got it. Thank you.
There's a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 9.2 is consider approval of a resolution granting the mayor authority to execute any documents necessary for the sale of lots on Hobbs Drive to Kyle Holdings LLC.
This is necessary in order to finalize the closing. The title company requires a resolution from the governing body authorizing the mayor or somebody else to sign any necessary documents.
I'll move to approve the proposed resolution authorizing the mayor to sign documents required to complete the closing of the sale of 2 city-owned lots. XA 4891000 lots of 03s and XA 489100004 on Hobbs Drive to Kyle Holdings LLC.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Item number 10 are public comments, citizens again may wish to address the chair at the point of the meeting, just limit your comments to once for no more than 2 minutes. Again, there's no public comments, we'll move on to item number 11, suggested future agenda items. Future agenda items. If not, at this time, as always, just let myself or Brian or the city clerk know, and we're happy to add something and have that discussion. And if there's no other business at this time, I would move on to item number 12, which is recessed to closed session. 12.1 is pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85, parent 1, parent E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing in public funds, or conducting other specified public business, whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session regarding the sale of city-owned lots on Hobbs Drive. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Beasley,
Yes.
Alderman Purcell,
Yes.
Alderman Nadesh Grant,
Yes.
Alderman Payton. Yes. Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes, we'll take a little recess when we break things down here.